Let me describe a pattern. You say yes when you want to say no. You agree even when something feels off. You apologize even when you're hurt. You stay quiet to avoid conflict. And in relationships, you often think, if I'm easy, if I don't ask for too much, if I don't upset them, they'll stay. From the outside, you look kind, understanding, supportive, low maintenance. But inside, you feel drained, invisible, resentful, disconnected from yourself. Eventually, something breaks. You explode, or you disappear, or you feel numb. And then you ask yourself, why do I always lose myself in relationships? Why do I give so much and still feel unsafe? Why can't I just speak up? Most people call this being too nice. Psychology calls it something else. People-pleasing is not kindness. It's a nervous system strategy to prevent abandonment. In this episode, we're going to explore what people-pleasing really is, why it feels impossible to stop, how it develops in relationships, and how you begin to choose honesty without fear. Welcome back to MindShift, Season 2. People-pleasing is often misunderstood. It's not. Being generous, being empathetic, being caring psychologically, people-pleasing is prioritizing others' emotional comfort over your own safety. The core belief underneath it is, if I upset you, I might lose you. So the nervous system adapts. It learns to scan for others' moods, anticipate reactions, adjust behavior quickly, suppress needs, not because you're weak, but because connection once felt conditional. People-pleasing often forms in environments where love depended on behavior. Conflict felt dangerous, emotions were unpredictable, needs were ignored or punished. As a child, you learned, stay agreeable, don't cause problems, be easy to love. Your nervous system concluded, safety comes from keeping others calm. So you became attuned, flexible, self-sacrificing. This wasn't a personality trait, it was survival intelligence. In adult relationships, people-pleasing looks like avoiding difficult conversations, over-explaining your needs, saying, it's fine, when it's not. Taking responsibility for others' emotions you might feel responsible for, their mood, their comfort, their happiness. And when something goes wrong, you think, what did I do wrong? People-pleasers confuse responsibility with control. Here's why advice like, just set boundaries, often doesn't work. Because people-pleasing isn't a mindset problem. It's a threat response. When you imagine saying no, your body tightens, your heart races, you anticipate rejection, your nervous system hears danger. So you comply, not because you want to, but because your body is trying to keep you safe. People-pleasing is fear-based compliance. Over time, people-pleasing leads to resentment, emotional exhaustion, loss of desire, loss of identity. You might think, they don't really know me. Because they don't. You never showed them, and that realization hurts, because you worked so hard to be loved. People-pleasing doesn't create intimacy, it creates invisibility. Let's separate these clearly. People-pleasing, motivated by fear, avoids conflict, hides needs, seeks approval. True kindness, motivated by choice, allows discomfort, expresses needs, respect self and other. People-pleasing says, don't leave. Kindness says, here's who I am. People-pleasers often attract emotionally avoidant partners, self-focused partners, people who benefit from overgiving, not because they choose badly, but because familiar dynamics repeat. Overgiving feels like connection, under-receiving feels normal. Balance feels unfamiliar when self-erasure was learned early. Healing people-pleasing does not mean becoming cold, becoming selfish, cutting everyone off, confronting aggressively. Healing is not about swinging to the opposite extreme. It's about choice instead of fear. Healing starts small, with awareness. Noticing when you say yes too quickly, when you feel tension before agreeing, when you suppress disappointment, then practicing. Pausing, naming discomfort, tolerating others' reactions. You don't stop people-pleasing by being brave. You stop by building safety in your body. Try this. 1. Pause before responding. 2. Ask, what do I feel? 3. Say something honest but gentle. 4. Let the discomfort exist. 5. Notice you survived. For example, I need time to think about that. That doesn't work for me. Small truths rewire fear. As people-pleasing softens, some relationships deepen, some fall away. You feel clearer, you feel more present. Not everyone will like the change, but the right connections will respect it. Connection built on honesty is safer than connection built on compliance. You didn't become a people-pleaser because you're weak. You became one because at some point, keeping the peace, that strategy protected you once. Now it's allowed to soften. You don't have to disappear to be loved. You don't have to stay quiet to belong. In the next episode, we'll explore boundaries that don't feel like rejection and how to stay connected without self-betrayal. Until then, notice where you say yes out of fear and meet that part of you with compassion. Welcome back to MindShift, Season 2. If this episode helped you feel seen instead of criticized, subscribe to continue this season-long journey into attachment, boundaries, and healing.